Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's episode of Le Morte d'Arthur. Tonight is the finale for part 1 of the tale of Sir Tristram and the Lady Isolde. Welcome! Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Hello. Hello, Queen. Hello, Karen. Thank you for the follow, Karen. Welcome. Come in, guys. Take up a seat. Hello, Darren. I haven't seen you on here in ages. How are you? You've come for the finale of part 1 of Tristram and Isolde. Excellent. Hello, Herbert. Come in. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Very, very excited for tonight, especially because after we do this tonight, I'm going to read some more from my novel after all this. So, very excited. Hope you guys will stick around while I go and read some of that. I've been busy drafting away, so if it's crap now, you guys are going to feel underwhelmed, and I'll be sad, and I'll cry, but it's all good. So, hello, Sarah. Hello, Darren. Hello, Kathy. Welcome, guys. Hello. Take up a seat. We'll give it another couple of minutes before we get started. How are you all? I know. It's awful. It's because I've been making last-minute edits to my chapter that I'm going to read you guys after this tonight, and the last-minute edits made me 2 minutes late. So bad Santa beat me. But tomorrow, Queen, tomorrow I will make sure that my show starts before Santa's show. So excellent, we'll get it all sorted. Yes, glad indeed. Thank you, Darren. Good to see you as well. Herbert, hello, Laura. Hello, Maribot. Come in, guys. Come in. Take up a seat. Well, apparently Santa is a fat guy who hands out presents to people on the 25th of September. So I suspect that actually he's some kind of enabler for toys, and that by giving out free presents, he's getting children across the world to be dependent upon toys and gifts and sweets, so that it will form some kind of addiction, so that the rest of the year their parents will be forced to buy things. Clearly there should be some kind of world intervention against this Santa chap at this point in time. I think he's probably doing something wrong. Certainly, he seems to have the monopoly on anything that's coming out of the North Pole, and I would suspect him of some very, very sharp practice when it comes to controlling the toy trade over the course of December. And I don't think it's fair competition what Santa is doing. Mark, the sly happenings and going forth are that there's a chap called Santa who's going around, who seems to be doing nefarious things with toys. Good evening, Caroline. Come in and welcome. And hello, Ollie. Ollie, who's now a massive fan of Grimsby, as we've all learnt from Twitter. I think Ollie is booking his holidays there via Thomas Cook any day now. And will probably be basing himself at one of the lovely caravan parks, so that he can see the disused aquarium and the ruins of Pleasure Island over by the docks. Hello, Tokyo. Hello, Big Zeke. Come in. Yes, the promoter of that thing. Well, I think that Santa has a lot to answer for, Danny. There we go. Ollie. In fact, Ollie, we did propose changing the name at one point, and we had 3 lottery winners in Grimsby over the course of 6 months. So we proposed that we change the name to Great Winsby, and then we realised it was a silly thing, and we stopped because Great Winsby is a silly name. So, let's get it. Wow, lots of people tonight. Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's finale of part 1 of the tale of Tristram and Isolde. Last night, we told the tale of how Sir Tristram made peace with Sir Lamorak, who he had been made to embarrass by King Mark, who has now exiled him, and how Sir Tristram defeated in a bloody combat the giant Sir Nabon and his son, and so made another knight Sir Segway's lord of Nabon's Isle, and turned Sir Lamorak who was his enemy into his friend. For those of you who aren't aware, at this point in the story, Sir Tristram, who was beloved of Queen Isolde of Cornwall, was forced into exile by King Mark when he was caught in bed with the Queen. And in exile, it seemed that for a while there, Sir Tristram forgot that his one true love was Queen Isolde. And so he married another woman, who was also named Isolde, but was not his one true love. Married another woman, leaving the Queen Isolde that he had loved in hot water, locked up in the castle of King Mark. And when it was found out in England that Sir Tristram had deserted his true love, in the court of King Arthur, Sir Lancelot did declare that if ever Sir Tristram set foot in the land of England again, then Sir Lancelot would be his mortal enemy, and Sir Lancelot would have his head. And so it seemed that all the Knights of the Round Table turned against him. But perhaps, now that Sir Tristram has saved the life... Hello, Carolina, hello! Now that Sir Tristram has saved the life of Sir Lamorak. Hello, Marissa, I haven't seen you in ages. How are you? I'm doing wonderfully. Welcome. Come in, take up a seat. After this, for those of you who don't know, we're going to be reading from my novel after this, so I hope some of you will stick around for that. Will! No, Carol, no, you've missed nothing. I'm just doing the recap. Will Sir Lamorak now be Sir Tristram's agent going on into England? That's quite alright. It's good that you're here now. So many wonderful old faces back here tonight. Will Sir Lamorak attempt to defend Sir Tristram's good name as he returns to the court of King Arthur? We will find out tonight in the finale of this opening part of the tale of Sir Tristram and Isolde. My favourite tale, the tale of Sir Tristram and Isolde, is nowhere near over, my friends. There is much smiting to be done before the end of this. But this opening act is drawing its conclusion tonight as we go and drive towards Camelot and Sir Lamorak and Sir Lancelot, the greatest knight in all the realm. So, once Sir Tristram had won the isle back from Sir Nabon and made Segways lord all over it, then did Sir Lamorak, whom Tristram had saved, turn and ride towards King Arthur's court. And Sir Tristram's wife, who was named Isolde, but whom he did not love like the true Queen Isolde, then she and her brother Sir Cadius took a vessel, and they sailed to their home country of Brittany. And there did Isolde, who was not the true love of Tristram, go to King Howell, her father, and her brother were made welcome. And when King Howell heard of the adventures that had happened with Sir Tristram, then did he marvel of the noble deeds. And now we turn and follow Sir Lamorak, so that when he was departed from Sir Tristram, he rode out to a forest in Wales until he came to a hermitage. And when the hermit there saw him, he asked him from whence he came. Sir, said Lamorak, I come from this very valley. Sir, said the hermit, then I marvel of you. For this 20 winters I have never seen a single knight pass this country, but either he was slain or villainously wounded, or else made to pass as a poor prisoner. For there was a knight here named Sir Nabon, who was a giant and ruined all who came to his country. Those ill customs, said Sir Lamorak, are now at an end, for Sir Tristram, who is perhaps the greatest knight in all the realm, save Sir Lancelot himself, slew your lord Sir Nabon the giant, and he slew also his son. Then was the hermit glad, and all his brethren were as well, for he said that there was never such a tyrant among Christian men as Sir Nabon was. And therefore, said the hermit, that this valley and franchise we will hold in favour of Sir Tristram. And on the morrow did Sir Lamorak depart. And as he rode, he saw 4 knights up ahead of him, and each of those 4 knights fought in battle against one single knight, and that one single knight who stood against 4 defeated each and every single one, until the last the 4 knights had him down. And then Sir Lamorak went between them, and asked them why those 4 knights would gang up to slay but one single knight. For he said it was shame to fight 4 against 1. You shall know well, said the 4 knights, that this knight is a false knight. That's your side of the story, said Sir Lamorak. Well then, let me hear him speak, for I will say as you say. Then said Sir Lamorak, Sir Knight, can you not excuse you, but these men claim that you are a false knight. Sir, said he, I can excuse myself both with my words and with my hands, that I will make good upon the best of these men, my body against his body in bloody combat. Then spoke they all at once. We will not jeopardy our bodies in combat against you, false knight. For know you well, they said, that even if King Arthur himself were here, it would not lie within his power to save your life, false man. That is too much said, said Sir Lamorak. But many speak behind a man more than they will say to his face. And by cause of your words you shall understand that I am one of the simplest of King Arthur's court. And in the worship of my lord, now do your best, and despite of you, I shall rescue this man from yourselves. And then, drawing his sword, Sir Lamorak faced off against them, and all 4 of those knights lashed off at once to Sir Lamorak. But anon, at 2 strokes, then did Sir Lamorak had slay 2 of them, so they fell to their death. Then the other 2 knights fled. And so then Sir Lamorak turned again to that knight and asked him his name. Sir, he said, my name is Sir Frol of the Out Isles. And then did he ride onwards with Sir Lamorak, and he bore him good company. And as they rode by the way, they saw a seemly knight who rode towards them all in white. Ah, said Frol, this yonder knight jousted late with me and smote me down, therefore I insist I will joust against him again. You shall not do so, said Sir Lamorak, by my counsel. For you must tell me your quarrel, and whether he jousted at his request or he at yours. No, said Frol, I jousted with him at my request. Sir, said Lamorak, then I will counsel you, deal no more with him. For it seems to me by his countenance that he is a noble knight, and no joker, for I think that he is a knight of the Table Round. Therefore I will not spare him, said Sir Frol, and then he cried and said, Sir Knight, make yourself ready to joust. That is not needed, said the White Knight, for I have no lust to joust with you. But still did Sir Frol ready his spears, and so the White Knight readied his spear, and the 2 knights came together like thunder. And then did the White Knight overthrow Sir Frol, and rode his way onwards at a soft pace. And Sir Lamorak rode after him, and prayed for him to tell him his name. For it seems to me, said Sir Lamorak, that you are of the fellowship of the Round Table. Upon a covenant, said he, I will tell you my name, so that you will not discover my name, and also so that you will tell me yours. Then, said he, my name is Sir Lamorak the Galley. What is yours? Mine, said the other man, is Sir Lancelot the Lake. Then did both knights put away their swords, and kissed heartily together, and either one made great do of each other. Sir, said Lamorak, if it pleases you, I will be in your service. God defend you, said Lancelot, that any of so noble a blood as yourself would offer to do me service. Then he said, however, for now I am in a quest that I must do myself alone. Good night. Well then, God speed you, sir, said Sir Lamorak, and so they departed. Then did Lamorak come to Sir Frol, and he horsed himself again. What knight is that? Said Sir Frol. Sir, he said, it is not for you to know, nor is it any point of my charge to tell you. You are the more uncourteous, said Sir Frol, and therefore, fie, I depart from you. You may do as you will, said Sir Lamorak, and yet by my company you have saved the fairest flower of your garland. And so they departed. We are now, ladies and gents, on the cusp of the finale of the tale of Tristram and Isolde. Sir Lamorak, recently saved by Sir Tristram, has met with Sir Lancelot and this knight, Sir Frol, who seems eager to fight with any man, and uncourteous and uncivil for any who seem to disagree with him. Ladies and gents, is this the end of our doings with Sir Frol for the night? I think perhaps not. Will you join me for one final push as we ride together with jousting ready, with our lances prepared, fully ready to smite, to buffet, to traverse and race as we head to the end of tonight's tale and see what happens between Sir Lamorak and Sir Frol. Carols in! Let's go then, ladies and gents, as we ride towards this epic conclusion. Also, I've just realised it looks like I'm wearing chainmail for tonight's episode, which is kind of epic. I'm going to call this my chainmail jumper from now on. Don't ruin my dreams for anyone who thinks this is like a jumper. Chainmail jumper, not normal jumper. Then, within 2 or 3 days, Sir Lamorak found a knight at a well who was sleeping. And his lady sat with him, and at Lamorak's approach they both waked. And right so came Sir Gawain of the Round Table, who took the knight's lady and set her up beside his squire. And so Sir Lamorak, seeing this, rode after Sir Gawain and said, Sir Gawain, turn, face me. And then said Sir Gawain, what will you have to do with me, man? For I am a nephew unto King Arthur. Sir, said he, for that cause I will spare you, else that lady should abide with me, or else you should joust with me and face me in battle. Then Sir Gawain turned him and ran to him that ought the lady with his spear, but the knight with pure might smote down Sir Gawain as he rode towards him, and took his lady back. All this dispute was seen by Sir Lamorak, who said to himself, I must revenge my fellow, or he will say of me great dishonour in the court of King Arthur. Then did Sir Lamorak return, and offer to joust with that knight. Fine, said he, I'm ready. And there did Sir Lamorak and this unknown knight face off against each other, their horses ready, their spears in their arms, so that they rode together and came like thunder. And then did both knights come together with all their might, and there did Sir Lamorak smite the knight through both sides, so that he fell to the earth dead. Then that lady rode to that knight's brother, whose name was Belliance the Augulus, who dwelled fast nearby. And she told him how his brother had been slain. Alas, said he, I will be revenged. And so he horsed himself, armed himself, and within a while he overtook Sir Lamorak and bade him, Turn, knight, leave that lady, for you and I must play a new play. For you have slain my brother, Sir Frol, and he was a better knight than ever you were. It might well be, said Sir Lamorak. But this day in this field I was found the better in battle between those men. And still did Sir Belliance face off against him. And the two knights rode together to fight, unhorsed each other, turned their shields, drew their swords, and advanced upon foot, and then fought mightily as noble knights do fight, so that by the space of 2 hours did Sir Belliance, heavy from battle, pray that his opponent speak his name. Sir, he said, my name is Sir Lamorak the Gallee. Ah, said Sir Belliance, you are the man in the world that I most hate. For I slew my sons for your sake, where I saved your life. And now you have slain my brother Sir Frol. Alas, how should I be accorded with you? Therefore, defend yourself now, for you will die. There is no other remedy. Alas, said Sir Lamorak, who was full therewith, and Sir Lamorak kneeled down before him and said, You ought to know you are the man that most has been done by me. And he knelt down and besought him of grace. Arise, said Belliance, arise, knight, or else as you kneel there I will slay you. You shall not need to do so, said Sir Lamorak, for I yield myself unto you, not for fear of you, not for fear of your strength, but your goodness makes me full loath to have ado with you. Wherefore I require you for God's sake and the honour of knighthood, forgive me that I have offended you. Alas, said Belliance, leave your kneeling, or else I will slay you without mercy. Then they went to battle again, fighting off against each other, and either one wounded each other so that the ground was bloody with blood as they fought. And at the last did Belliance withdraw himself aback, and set himself softly down on a hill, for he was so faint with bleeding that he might stand no longer. Then did Sir Lamorak throw his shield upon his back, and asked the knight what cheer. Well, said Sir Belliance, ah, sir, you shall know that I show you favour in your malaise. Ah, knight, Sir Belliance said Sir Lamorak, you are a fool. For if I had you at an advantage as you had, must needs forgive the evil of my will. And then Sir Lamorak kneeled down, and unlaced first his helmet, and then his opponents, and each man kissed each other with weeping tears. Then did Sir Lamorak lead Sir Belliant to an abbey that was close by, and there Sir Lamorak would not depart from Belliant until he was whole, and then they swore together that neither one should fight against each other. And so Sir Lamorak departed and went to the court of King Arthur. And there, ladies and gents, oh, different translations, different spellings, Rachel. It's all good fun. There, ladies and gents, we end part 1 of the tale of Sir Tristram and Isolde. Tomorrow, on Friday, we will begin part 2 as we follow Sir Tristram further into his tales of adventure and daring do and much smiting. For in part 2, ladies and gents, Sir Tristram will fight against King Arthur himself. Forget fighting Lancelot. Sir Tristram and King Arthur in the ultimate throwdown. Yes, Carolina, I will read tomorrow. I'm not going anywhere. The tale of Sir Tristram and the Lady Isolde will continue tomorrow. And yes, Rachel, you're not the first to have been caught out by naming your son Tristram. We had a few people worried about this. It's just, the tale of Tristram and Isolde is incredibly old. It's been written in French, it's been written in Cornish, it's been written in Irish, it's been written in medieval English, in Middle English, in modern English. There are many different spellings of Tristram and Tristram. The spellings of Isolde are even grander and wilder and more magnificent. In fact, the current spelling of Isolde in this book isn't even Isolde. I'm just using Isolde because it's easier to pronounce and more people are familiar with it. Personally, I quite like Tristram, but I can see the appeal of Tristram as well. I think whichever one you're using, it's wonderful. Whichever version you use, it's a wonderful, wonderful name to give to someone. I pronounce Isolde, Isolde, but it can be done. This is the thing, there is no normally. There is no normally, Sarah. I think the Cornish spelling of Isolde is Isolt, that's spelt with a Y. This one is Isoud. This is Isoud in the Caxton text. So lots of different spellings out there. Isolde, I think, is just the more familiar one. So I say Isolde because otherwise you might get confused. Yes, as Karen's quite right, it is spelt with a Y sometime. So if any of you ever see the performance of Tristram and Isolde by a theatre group called the Knee High Theatre Company, who are from, I think they're from Cornwall. I think they're actually from Cornwall to begin with. They spell Isolde with a Y. And they do a fabulous production if you ever get a chance to see that. I know they tour internationally with that. So look up the Knee High Theatre Company for their performance of Tristram and Isolde. It's marvellous. It's magnificent. It's what got me in love with the tale to begin with. So yes, I've enjoyed that. And thank you so much, everyone, for coming tonight. It has been wonderful to see you all. Coming up in a couple of minutes, I'm going to read from my novel, Till Bashing, which I read a little bit of last week, and I'm going to read another 1,000 words, 1,500 words this week, which I'm really looking forward to, so I hope you guys like that. Clearly it's not for everyone. Karen doesn't want to hear it. But I'm looking forward to sharing that. That one's coming up. Instead of the poetry show tonight, I'm going to continue reading from Till Bashing. I hope you'll join me for for that in a couple of minutes. I'm going to run downstairs, grab a drink, and then come back up and see you for that. No, thank you. Oh, there was a comma. Well, it wasn't as bad then. Karen might come and see it then. It wasn't as bad as I thought. But anyway, even if you guys can't make it for whatever reason, Ni Hao Como, I thought they were down. They're fabulous. Please, anybody who gets a chance, I know they tour in the States, they tour Europe, they go all over England. Ni Hao Theatre Company are wonderful. I love you too. Thank you very much, Karen. I got very confused there. The Ni Hao Theatre Company do a beautiful rendition of the tale of Tristram and Isolde. It is what got me to fall in love with the story to begin with, and really kind of brought me into Mallory's Les Morte d'Arthur. So I do recommend, if you can see that, please do. Big thank you to everyone who's come tonight. Thank you, Andy and Rachel. Thank you, Marissa. It was great to see you again, Marissa. Thank you, Carolina and Carolina and Caroline. Thank you, Danny and Sarah, Kathy and Herbert, Darren and Queen and Karen. It's been wonderful. We do poetry most nights. Poetry will be back tomorrow, Marissa. I'm just going to mix it up and do some of my writing tonight. I think Thursday nights I'll use to share what I'm working on. And then we'll get back to poetry tomorrow as we continue with the next part. So I'm just going to run downstairs, grab myself a glass of water so I can get through it. Please, I do hope to see you guys in a couple of minutes as we continue with Tales of Grimsby and Till Bashing. Thank you so much for coming tonight, everyone. Bye-bye.